So guys, UFC 329 is finally here, and it looks like we are actually about to get the return of the Mac. So let's get straight into breaking down this card and making some solid bets. So starting off the main card, we got Bobby Green versus Terrence McKinney. And I'm sorry, Bobby, I just can't call you the king, especially when I think you're going to be getting your ass knocked out this weekend. Now, yeah, Green has looked good in his last 2 fights, but that doesn't make up for the other 6 times he's been knocked out. And in this fight, he's been matched up against Terrence the T-Rex McKinney, who's a first-round machine. I mean, yeah, Green has a bit of a nice stand-up game. He has a nice jab that he likes to use when he finds his range, but that's just it. He likes a clean stand-up fight where Terrence is going to make this a car crash. I just see Terrence coming in guns blazing and pressing Green on the back foot real quick. And then, boom! We get a Terrence KO round 1. But if you are on the Bobby Green side, then I think you should throw in round 2 to start also, because Terrence really does put so much effort into the first round that he's usually fucked by the second round. So if Green is able to survive and get it to that point, then he just might be able to pull a win out of his ass. So for my official pick for this fight, give me Terrence McKinney to get the finish in the first round and start the main card off with a banger. But wait, while I have your attention, why don't you drop a little like and a comment? Because you all know how the algorithm works. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any more videos. Anyway, let's get back to making some money this week. Let's go! So for the next fight, we have Loner Kavanagh versus Brandon Royval. Now, this should be a really good fight. The bookies have Brandon at plus 180, which is a pretty nice number if you're wanting to be on the Brandon side. Now, this is a 3-round fight, which I think favors Loner in this fight, and that's because in 5-round fights is really where Brandon shines. He's able to bring out the dog in him during the 4th and 5th round. So with it being 3 rounds, I give Loner the edge here. I think his youth will be a key factor here, and he's got nice striking, so he should be able to handle himself on the feet. But what I am curious about is, can Loner get the knockout here? Because Brandon is coming of a loss to Cape, where he did get knocked out in that fight. So has he fully recovered? I guess we will see. But with that being said, for my official pick here, I'm going to go Loner Kavanagh to get the job done here, and give me the fight to go over 1.5 rounds also. I think Loner comes in patient for the first 5 minutes, and then starts to turn up the heat in round 2 and 3, and pay off being that minus 200 favorite. So next up, we have Corey Sandhagen versus Mario Batista, and this is an interesting one because this is actually a rematch where Corey submitted Mario in the first round. But that was back in 2019, and I do think Batista has got better on the ground since then. Now, has Batista improved enough to get that win back from Corey? I'm not too sure about that. I just see Corey being able to deal with that forward pressure style of fighting that Mario brings. And I think Corey should be able to keep this fight where he wants it and be able to utilize them leg kicks. Now, with all that being said, I don't think Corey makes it look as easy as he did when these guys first fought. But Sandhagen is going to be my official pick here. I think he's a pretty good price line at minus 150, but there is a couple of ways I can see this one ending, so just give me the money line for this one just to be safe. But now, guys, it's time for the co-main event of the night, and I'm really excited for this one. You already know who it is. Let's get straight into it. Okay, that's enough of the dancing, but you have to admit you kind of have to move a little when the Baddies walkout song comes on. And you already know that everyone on board this ship is a Paddy fan. And how can you not be excited? Because you already know.
I'm a Scouser. We don't get knocked out.
But we know this French guy does. And the fact Paddy is the underdog in this fight is just music to my ears. I think the bookies have the odds in this fight wrong, and there is definitely a little recency bias here. I even think Paddy can get the finish here, which is great odds at nearly plus 300. I just think BSD is going to at some point shoot for a takedown and he stick his neck out like he did with Dustin, and then Paddy just jumps on that neck and gets a submission. So for my official pick here, you already know, give me Paddy the Baddy Pimblet money line, and I'll even take a shot on that Paddy finish line at plus 300 because he can easily get the submission or even rain some 12-6 elbows. Either way, he's getting the job done here in Vegas. Now, we got a fighter that needs no introduction, but I'm going to give him one anyway. Next up, we got our main event of the night, Conor McGregor versus Max Holloway.
You got to bring the bad. You got to bring the light. You got to bring the light. You got to bring the dark. You got to bring the good. You got to bring the bad. You have to have conversations with those skeletons in your closets. They know you better than you know yourself.
Yeah, that's right. It seems like we are actually going to see the Mac inside the octagon once again. But is he going to be able to pull off the upset and get the win here after not having a fight in the last 5 years? Now, I've seen a lot of people picking Max here, which is surprising because the odds have changed a lot here because Conor opened up at a plus 300 favorite and now he's only plus 190. And to be honest, I kind of do agree with the line movement. I have this fight at more of 50-50 really, so to see Max opened up at a minus 500 was pretty surprising. I'm just disappointed that I missed that line. Because I will be picking Conor to win this fight. I just think history is going to repeat itself here, and Conor won the first time round, so I think he's just going to be able to get the job done. And call me crazy, but I even think he can win this via decision, but if it does go the judges, I think it's more a split than a dominant win. Now, before giving this week's lock, I just want to say what the fuck happened at that White House card. I should have knew Ilya wasn't going to beat Justin. I'm more mad at myself than anyone, honestly, because now that little sausage has put us minus 500. But that's okay, because there's 2 locks in this week's main card that's going to win us that 500 back and make us a little 500 profit also. Yeah, that's right. This week's locks are Loner and Patty. When you double them up, you get plus 200, which I think is pretty nice. So yeah, that's it for this card, humans. And if you're tailing this week's bet, then good luck. But don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss the next card we break down.